Today we are going to have our class debate. We are going to hear some arguments from different opposition and from different sides, from the opposition side and the proposition side.
Our judges of this debate are Janet A. Vandala, the school English coordinator, Ma'am Cheryl Dagom, the solid waste management coordinator, Russell B. Guillermo, the health coordinator, Helen Battersal, the nutrition coordinator, and Army A. Itel, the science coordinator. I am Kimberly Jane C. Cannon, the chairperson of this debate with the motion. Plastics used as food container inside the school, home, and community should be banned. Plastic surrounds us. Our telephones, our carpets, and even the place we're wearing all may contain plastics. We store our food in it, drink water from it, and even brush our teeth with it. This morning, we will hear the arguments coming from the opposition side and the proposition side about our motion that plastic should be banned in school and home and even in our community. Each speaker will be given 1 to 3 minutes to present their idea. The first speaker is Gwen L. Banuelos, coming from the proposition side.
I am in favor of banning plastics because it makes problems in our school community. We can use other containers that are better plastic like papers. I know that the plastic has advantage, right? It can be containers, but don't you know it has disadvantage too? It causes some problems like environment destruction. The reasons plastic can destroy our ecosystem. Throwing polybag plastics could make the soil unfertile. That is called soil pollution.
Should plastics as food containers be banned? This is a question we asked for a long time. To answer the question, I think no. Plastics, they don't litter our streets. They have no life, right? They don't walk and run. They don't eat and drink. And they also don't write and drink. So, how can you say that plastics litter our streets? It is because this is an argument against a society's attitude towards consumption. But the war against plastic bags is not worth relatively little gain. The problem will remain long after a ban on plastic bags is placed on people. Instead, we need to recognize our disposable society and start looking at the bigger picture.
Our issue is plastic as food containers should be banned in schools, home, and community. I'm here to prove that plastics as food containers should be banned because we are killing our mother earth. Please stop this nonsense activity. Use recycled paper bags instead of plastic bags. I'm not saying that plastics is so useless, but it causes damage to our motherland. So try to ban plastics to some extent. We will ban plastics for our motherland. Babies can choke on the plastics and die.
I am Joarby Samorido, and on behalf of the opposition side, I am the second speaker of our side. Should plastics as food containers be banned? Plastics? I think the answer is no. We should manage the plastics, not ban. Why do you think that plastics should be banned? Why? Can you give me some reasons? For me, I think that plastics shouldn't be banned. Do you think that plastics are not important? Why? Because for me, plastics are very important. Very important than what have you said. Plastics are more important than papers. Plastics are more useful than papers. So, why did you say that plastics should be banned if it is more important than papers? As the plastics be banned, do you think you can live without plastic? How is the life like that? For me, I think I can't live without plastics. Do you know why? Because plastics are important to the people like us because they make the plastics into new things to make it attractive and to use it again and again.
Standing in front of you is Jibel Tiumawan and representing the proposition team. I am in favor of banning plastics because, as an estimated 17 billion plastic bags are given to the British customers. We don't need this many plastic bags in the world. The pollution is caused where the creation alone is enough to warrant a ban on their manufacture and their use. In addition, they do not degrade well in the rubbish dumps, so they will remain on this planet forevermore. Like other soft drinks, they contain acid that if may sticks to the plastic container, it may sip some chemicals which plastic has.
Our issue is about plastic used as food containers should be banned in school, home, and community. Are you in favor of banning plastics? For me, yes. Plastic should be banned in our school because our school canteen use plastics for food containers, and that plastics can contaminate our food that can harm our health. We should use paper bags because it has less pollution compared to plastics that contain toxins. Plastic bags have been known to cause a lot of environmental damage. A single plastic can take up to 1,000 years to decay completely. This makes the bag stay in the environment longer, in turn leading to great buildup on the natural landscape. In other words, the more plastic you use, the greater the chances of our environmental damage.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. I am Lauren J.B. Labajo from the opposition team, and I am here to show that plastic should be managed, not banned. Should plastics as food container be managed or be banned? For me, plastic should be managed because it helps you to conserve your own energy. Plastic packaging means lighter shopping to carry home. In fact, 1 pound of plastics will go faster than 1 pound of paper.
For me, yes. It is because what we people don't think about is that many of their plastic dishes, storage containers are lacking chemicals, especially when they are using number 3 or number 7 plastics or any hard plastics that is shatterproof.
I am Melissa Cabana and I agree that plastics should be banned. It is because it makes our school dirty and it is the SPGC officer's first school problem and some student is not responsible. So
For me, not. Because plastic is an ideal material used in a car manufacturing modern mid-range. A car contains about 11% plastic components. Did you know that harnessing solar power would be impossible without plastics? Solar panels are made from plastics. Plastics were designed to satisfy a need thin plastics consume many things. Paper, which is the good recommended, is a good substitute for plastic. Maybe plastic is more useful than paper.
At this point, we will start our rebuttal. Each side will have one representative. The representative from proposition side is Melissa Angel Buena, and the representative from opposition side is Shane Megan A. Agual. The first to talk is from proposition side, Melissa Angel Buena. A round of applause.
Personally, I'm convinced that our health and the health of our planet would be much better off if we drastically reduced our use of plastics. Here's why: health problems and with plastics. Certain chemicals in plastics like
BPA, a compound used in polycarbonate and plastics and epoxy resins that is commonly found. Plastics, in general, are more practical than paper in many ways. They tend to be more durable, especially when wet. They take up less of space in your cupboard if you save them, and they can be reused more often, and yet you'd be better off to reject them completely.
Now, it's our time to decide whether to ban plastics used as food container in school, home, and community.
So you have here the different arguments from different sides, from the opposition and proposition. I just want to call somebody to answer the question, are you in favor of banning plastics as a food containers in our school, home, and community? If your answer will be yes, then you have to prove or you give some explanation about why do you favor of banning plastics. And if your answer is no, why do you oppose on the banning plastics in our school? Okay? May I have some hands to answer the question?
Plastic should be not banned as food containers because plastics is very useful in being a container of food, because just like malalagay mo ba yung tubig sa papel? Diba hindi? Tapos malalagay mo rin ba yung mga liquid substance sa karton o kaya sa papel? Di ba mababasa man yung papel? Kaya dapat sa plastic siya ilagay. Kaya mahalaga din yung plastic. Dapat di siya i-ban.
In short, that Miss Nicole is in favor of not banning plastics in our school, especially in our home, di ba? Okay. What about others? Yes, Ayan?
I am in favor of banning plastics because without plastic we can use glass, because when you break glass can produce methane and can destroy the ozone layer. If in the research, every day people burn plastic, and plastic release methane, and methane can destroy the ozone layer.